What qualities do you look for when you're judging a cosplay?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. And write this down, boys and girls, because Anime North is coming next year. So, what well, this is my personal, because every judge have their own personal criterias, right? For me, is workmanship is has to be 100. Workmanship, attention to details. I have judged most. Well, a part of Anime Nerd, I have judged other conventions, and mostly I'm in charge of judging the workmanship part of the competition. And so I'm mostly, and that's mostly what I excel most is workmanship. And well, not being rude or proud of that, but yeah, I have the awards. I have the awards there. um,
Well, it shows.
but yeah, like workmanship, attention to detail, and I like, how can I put that word? I have the word in Spanish in my head, but of course, not everyone gonna understand that. Um, uh, novedad, or like that's not the word I'm looking for.
Originality, innovation.
Yes, thank you so much. Innovation, originality, yes.
Cool, cool.
Like you add your little take of the character. Like it's still their character, but you add your little something there. Like it's you being the character,
Yeah.
like maybe you add a little detail, like for example, the character doesn't have the detail, but like for example, here's a good example, like Card Captor Sakura.
Mm,
Everybody loves Card Captor Sakura.
yeah.
And if you use a fabric with like sakura petals on the costume, which usually doesn't have, but it's very faint, so from far it's still not noticeable, but if you go up close you'll see it. That's attention to detail, that's being original. For me, that give I give that person, like, bravo, that's that's kudos to you. That's like extending, like people will just get the most of the time like the pink fabric, so, accurate to the color scheme, but you can also have having the accurate color scheme, and you have your little touch here and there, and that I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So yeah, boys and girls, I hope you write that down.
That's a really interesting tip. And even as someone who wouldn't be judging cosplay, but I appreciate it, whether I'm seeing it in person or through social media, a detail like that would really stand out. I would really appreciate that. And I feel that even any fan of Cardcaptor Sakura, whether you're into the show or not, whether you're into anime or not, seeing that, you'd be able to tell that a person crafting this put a lot of attention to detail to do this because they didn't need to, but
Exactly.
the fact that they do, that makes it, like you said, their personality come through, and that to me is some of the uniqueness of what makes a good cosplayer a good cosplayer.
Yeah, yeah. But of course, there's other judges will have other criteria that you have, like competitors have to fill in. But like that's why you have a panel of judges. You have to deliver it, and like every opinion counts. So if you really like someone and you think they deserve to win, you defend that person. That's basically what a judge is job is. Like if someone deserves a recognition, you make sure that person deserves recognition. You have to like point out like this is this and that, and that's what makes it a good contender for this spot of the competition. And yeah, judges. I appreciate that all my judges that judges me in previous years. I appreciate all their constructive criticism. Back in the days, like when I started uh, competitive cosplay. Let's put it that competitive cosplay. Um, I would feel bad when a judge told me like, "Oh, I wish you could have done more with this. Like, it has potential, but I wish you did this, you did that." back in the days, I would take this as like, oh, so it's not enough. I'm worthless. I didn't do good. But slowly through the years, when I'm giving the opportunity to actually like climb the ladder and be part of like the behind the scenes of like masquerades and conventions, I was like, oh, okay, so it's not, they're not bashing you. They're giving you, they're actually helping you to improve. Sometimes it's hard to like, there's a very, very thin line of like criticism and constructive criticism. And people tend to just go to the criticism. But, and I guess that's also a part of being a judge, is to like, you're able to have good communicating skills to express your point, not being, not sounding like a condescending, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be, you have to be nice, like, and like, because people in some conventions, I appreciate that they actually have like judge feedback after the awarding, and people like competitors can actually go and ask the judge like, oh, so I thank you for judging me, well, some people will literally just say, why didn't win, because they're frustrated, I understand. So you have to able to give them like, well, listen, like, you did well on this and this and that, but we believe that this and this and that are still need to be improved. But you need to tell them like in a very nice way that they will understand, and like they will like, oh, okay, so I need to improve in this skills and that skill, and more attention to detail. And it's hard if you don't have a good communication skill. People will think that you're a bitch.
Yeah, true.
And that have happened, and like I'm sorry guys, I'm just telling you, like you done well, you done well. But these things had need to be improved if you want to like win in that category. Because oh my god, novice, this, have you seen in conventions, novice nowadays are like, they're called this master.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the things they're doing. Oh, it's my first cosplay. It's my first
Jaw
convention, my
drop,
second
jaw
cosplay.
drop. I was like,
You would never guess.
that is crazy. He's like, okay, I guess we have to see what other novice have to offer, and the other novice, right?
Yeah.
The other novice, like, okay, so yeah. And I feel like the novice division is the hardest to judge, because they're very they're fresh, they're fresh out of the boat. And they're exploring this new world called cosplay,
Yeah.
and you don't want them to have this bad experience. You have to make this like worthwhile for them, like oh my god, like people spend money, energy, time on creating this magnificent costume, but I'm sorry, not everybody's gonna win. Not everybody's gonna win. There's always gonna be always one victor. And but that doesn't mean that what you did is worthless. No, no, no. It's not. And you should be proud of what you bring out there, you know. You should always be. And that's what I always tell them, like, if it doesn't happen this time, keep reaching for the stars, you know. Like, keep reaching for the stars. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
there's no limit. There's no like, just keep, you can literally like, this one advice that I usually tell competitors, like, um, if this costume doesn't win in this competition, bring it to another one, and then when it wins in that competition, then that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because like, unfortunately, if for example, if you do conventions within Toronto, you can, if when you win, this is by the rules of the ICG that we follow, that, I mean, are like, you, once you win like a high price or a position in the masters, whatever level, you can enter that costume again in the same with, you can go
Yeah.
to Montreal and enter it here in Montreal. That's fine, because it's a different playground.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But if you win already in Toronto, you can enter it as let's say best in show in Toronto with Anime North. We can enter that to uh, what's the other convention you have in Toronto? The big
Fan
there's
Expo.
Fan Expo.
Yeah.
You can enter that in Fan Expo in the same category as Masters
Huh.
because that's like sandbagging.
Yeah.
the,
Yeah. That does
no,
make sense
take
actually.
note, people. Take note. Take note.